Hey everybody, this is Leon the Star, and today I'm going to show you how to do things efficiently in Soundbox. Soundbox is a free environment for music, creating synthesizers, effects, and it works everywhere. Mac, Windows, Linux, Android, iOS, whatnot. Okay, so if people start out, they usually don't know that there is a spectrum analyzer, and you always want to keep that one open if you have a relatively big screen. Maybe not on mobile, but just always keep it open because it will allow you to immediately see if something weird is going on. Okay, second thing, if you're mixing signals, then what most people do is actually, let's say you have 3 synthesizers, or things going on. What most people do is that they somehow use an amp for it to mix it. And I kid you not, every node does something to the signal. So if you really want a clean signal, you can still do this and not change anything on the amplifier. But what you actually should do is just remove the name so that you know that it's actually doing nothing. And the second thing is you press bypass. And this, my friends, really ensures that if you have a lot of those, oh, that's my break, which I'm not gonna do right now actually. You should take breaks, by the way. Take breaks. Don't sit behind the computer or whatever for a long time. It's not good for you. It gets you into some kind of zombie mode. Don't do that. I'm speaking from experience, except when you're recording a video like now. All right, so you just want to copy this do nothing node whenever you want to combine signals, okay? So that's a really good habit to have. This ensures you that your signal is clean, it's mixed in a very clean way. So yeah, that's one tip. Another tip is basically that always click it and watch the spectrum analyzer. Whatever you click, whatever node is selected, that is what the analyzer will show. And this allows you to set or see problems very easily. So I have another video on why you should not use the vanilla reverb from here, but you should actually use the reverbs from the library. It's actually the reverb folder, which is shipped with Soundbox. Because the reverb is just a building block, let's just view the wet output after, for example, feeding a synthesizer chord in it. Let's click it. Look at this 32 Hertz, 64, 128 Hertz. This is coming out of the reverb and you don't want that. If you don't use the frequency analyzer here and click it, then you might not know about this and you would end up with a really weird, weak mix, and you would think like, oh, I suck or Sunvox sucks. No, you just have to use this spectrum analyzer and then you will see all these problems immediately when they happen. So whenever you introduce a new module, make sure you have the spectrum analyzer open and you click that module to see, what is the output there and is this okay. So that's the other trick. Another trick is basically if you create an effect, let's say, I'll just put this here. If you create an effect, let's say you want an echo, a filtered echo. Let's make this quickly here. So, or maybe a better example is you want a distorted echo. So let's do that. Let's do some real distortion here. So this is a very extreme effect. It's kind of annoying actually. But anyway, so the moment you're starting to create an effect, usually you end up making a meta module so that you know, you could reuse it later in another song. But what is very important is that you always have the dB, this set to dB, and here the peak meter turned on, so that if you do something, now you see it says -13, and but here it says 2.9. So sometimes you just want to match the decibels, and by having this turned on, you can, let's say, between bypass, what is this? By the way, what I usually do, because the problem is when you hit bypass, it doesn't show the dB anymore. What I usually do is just have one node called analyzer, and I just copy paste it, and I just compare to see what it does. So now you can see, since this is on bypass, both are 2.7 decibels, and but when I press when I turn it on, you can see this one is minus something. And if I want to match this, let's say this could have been a compressor or something, then I went up to 2 decibel, so I'm adjusting the volume of this module. This is also a bit too much still. Okay, this is sort of, now it's sort of matching the same decibel, or actually not really, to be honest, but perhaps I shouldn't have used the distortion. Anyways, these small analyzer nodes, they really allow you to see if you're suddenly completely getting into different decibels, because if you have a mix with a lot of let's say you have a really great mix with 16 instruments, everything is really like mixed well together, the levels, the gain staging, it took you like hours of work, and then you just want to introduce a new effect. You could destroy these hours of work by just adding an effect which turns out to be louder, but you don't really know about it because you're not checking the decibels. What happens then is you're gonna change the levels of all these other instruments, and you're messing up your whole mix. So what you basically want to do when you introduce a new effects in an already big project, you want to use these analyzer nodes to see that you're sort of getting the same decibels, to see okay, nothing weird is going on here. Yeah, so that's another trick, these analyzer nodes. And to have that turned on by default, you can basically go to modules, and then to default visualize. So whatever setting you do here, as you can see, I've set it to decibel and level, blah, blah, blah. Then whatever node you create, it will already have that turned on. Here you can see the decibels. So this is really useful so that you don't have to turn on the decibels all the time for each node separately. So this is not needed anymore. Okay, I hope this helps, and I wish you happy soundboxing. Cheers!